Hey everybody, most of you know me as Mystic, and this is Moonsong Gaming. I normally do how-to videos, but I thought this would be an awesome way to, kind of open up and let my subscribers and potential new subscribers to get to know me a little bit better and do a playthrough. And I had a friend of mine tell me about Palworld, and I thought, well, what the heck, let's go ahead and do it. This is available on PC and Xbox. Unfortunately, it is not available on PlayStation 4 or 5, but let's hope, eventually it'll come to it, because this is a really awesome game. I showed you a little bit of the character creation, and now this is the beginning where you wake up on a beach and look at these little pals. I mean, they're so cute. And these are pals that you would eventually capture, and they would help you. The towers are the key, and the tree holds the truth. That's what this little notepad is saying, or data pad, whatever you would like to call it. So then you start out, and this is where you start, but I turned a little bit and I saw a few things in the back, and I'm like, oh, let's go back this way. And it doesn't go any further than that. One is like a data journal, so the technology is there. It's really cool. There's like really good technology, but we start out with nothing, like very primitive. And it reminds me of a few other games, which I'm not going to say because I'm not even going to compare them. But there's chests, there's data journals, things like that. You start out Windswept Hills. There's something on the upper right-hand corner, which I really love, because a lot of survival games don't really give you a whole lot of direction. They just let you loose in the world and say, have at it. And I like direction. I like knowing, okay, this is what I should be doing. This is in the direction I should be going, and that kind of thing. Maybe not everybody is like that, but I am. Look at this little guy. Oh my gosh, it's a little lamb. Anyway, okay, and this is a fast travel. I am going to admit that I did start a playthrough before this one just to get the basics down. And so some of the things I have experienced before, but I thought this would be a great way just starting out to, do a playthrough. You stop and you visit this woman right here, and I am assuming it's a woman. They, and you talk to them, and they're like, this is living hell. The pals have eaten up their friends, so to speak, and here, take some supplies, you're going to need them. And she gives you 10 pieces of wood. So here's the journal that I was talking about, the direction that it gives you and things that you should be focusing on, or it wants you to pay attention to. And I decide, okay, let's go over, and you can see that it's highlighted certain things like the wood, and the rock. So those are things that you can clearly gather or, attempt to gather, maybe. And then there's food, which it's a survival game, so you have to eat, you have to drink, that kind of thing, or eat. And you do have to feed the pals. I remember that much. And, just like a pet, you would need to feed your pets, right? You would have to make them comfortable, that kind of thing. And punching the tree, I'm like, oh my gosh, is it going to damage me? Yay, it didn't damage me. So gathering more food, because clearly, there's never enough food. You're going to go through it quickly, not too quickly, and then I start punching the rocks thinking, okay, is this going to damage me? I punched a tree, I got some stuff out of it. Let's punch the rock. Let's get some more things. And then look at what I need to do, actually. Let's go ahead and it tells me to look at the survival guide. So I go in and look at the survival guide, and that you get a little bit of XP, I think, each time you do what it asks you to do, or tells you to do, however you want to look at that. And these are the elements. It tells you what's vulnerable to what, and that is important to know as you go through the game and your combat or fighting different bosses or things. You know what they're vulnerable to then, or more vulnerable to, I should say. Building my first little simple workbench, and let's see, I need definitely a mining pick and axe. Oh, look, and I need the pal box and a sphere, pal sphere. those are what you actually capture the pals in, that then or makes them like your pal. But you typically have to like bring their health down a little bit to get them into the ball, the pal sphere. And so I've got my pickaxe, got my stone axe. All right, let's go. I want to go ahead and get some things going. Okay, I need, the bat. I need a torch. So I need to gather some more things. I need to be able to capture some pals. And it's like this whole thing, and it's awesome. I mean, like when you start out, and I'm sure, I'm late getting to this game. I understand that. But it's a fun game. It was fun starting out. It is fun starting out and gathering things. Survival games that have a purpose, all the survival games have a purpose, but give you more of a direction and things like that. Just, to me, it makes it more fun. So I'm having an absolute blast. I know this has been out this year, but it's still very popular, and the devs are actually still in communication, like on Steam, talking about how they're planning on adding on more to the map. They're adding on more content. This is not going away anytime soon. They want to make this a long-term game for people. I mean, and this can be single player and it can be multiplayer. So imagine running around and getting pals and defeating bosses and dungeon bosses with your friends. I mean, I would love to have some friends that play this and run with them. It would be a lot of fun, to me anyway. So I go ahead and I build the things that I need. I have my bat. I figure out how to disassemble this, because this is definitely not where I would want to make a base. There's not a whole lot of resources here, and usually with survival games, you want to try and find a place that has sufficient resources to start out at, even if it's your first base or whatever. So I'm looking at these roots and I'm like, what is this? Where is it going? I know I'm being a weirdo, but it's like, wait, what? Look at this. And then it goes into the water. So I think they did that to get your attention, because here you go. There's a chest and another data journal. And so you pick those up, and I did not read those for you guys. So if you want me to start reading those, I'm more than happy to. Leave me a comment, drop a comment saying, and you're welcome to tell me, hey, you made this too long, you drug this out too much, or you didn't give us enough of that. I am more than happy to, adjust the next episode to make it more fun for you to watch, or, that kind of thing. So over to the left, there was an metal ore node that it was like, okay, that's definitely what I'm looking for, but it's a small area. I would like for my first area to be a little bit bigger than that. So, and then I see it's like, ooh, something shiny. Look, it's a pal ball. And they have stuff like that sitting around in the world. It's really neat. And then it's like, oh, look, it's a kitty cat. That's going to be my first tame. And it's like, oh, look at it. It's like, ow, my head. I feel so bad when I do that, by the way. But yep, 100%. And so then typically what happens is when you go and you start to fight one, like the Cativa, then the other Cativas that would be around would either run away, or they would then start to attack you also. And I just proved a point there where you have to bring their health down a little bit to capture them. I threw one without even hitting it, and it didn't do anything. It bounced right off. Sometimes there's a chance you can do that without, hitting them, but it's rare. Far and few between. So, and then there's usually when you capture one pal, it says if you capture like so many of each, you get a bonus. And I do believe, if I watched someone else with a playthrough, and there's actually a machine that you can build later on that you take so many of them and put them, like, their power towards one main one, and it makes that main one more powerful. So I had not gotten to that point in my playthrough prior to this, so it's all speculation, and stick with me on that, because we'll find out eventually, won't we? And then I go ahead and I'm like, okay, this is a chicken one, and it's gonna have to give me eggs or something. And so I decided to go ahead and I mean, like, of all things, a chicken is the most resistant to get captured. Isn't that crazy? So anyway, if you like this, please stick with me. I'm going to have another episode come out next week. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to smack that like button, ring the bell to be alerted, and hit subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Have a great day.